Hey guys, you're welcome back to my channel. Today thank you so much for stopping by. In this video we'll be sewing these two pieces that you can see on your screen. So in my last tutorial we drafted out the pattern. In this tutorial we'll be sewing our pieces together. If you've not seen the pattern drafting tutorial, I'm going to leave the link in the comment section, so go ahead and watch it before you come join us on this particular one. So guys, we'll be starting with the top. I've gone ahead to fold my facing, to place my facing right side facing the main fabric. So what I'm going to do is to sew on the neckline, the shoulder area and the armhole area. Okay, so just go ahead and sew the facing to the fabric all the way around. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that. After doing that, this is how the neckline of our top is going to be sitting. Okay, so pin your facing right side and then go ahead and sew. And I'm going to repeat the same thing for the back. I've placed my facing on the main fabric right side facing right side, so I'm going to sew on the shoulder area, the neckline and the armhole area. So guys, I've gone ahead to do that and this is what I have. So I placed my hemming gum on the right side, okay, in between the facing and the main fabric, and I used the hemming gum to just iron everything flat. I repeated the same thing for this front pattern, and this is what I have. Okay, so this is how the neckline is going to sit. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to place them right sides facing right sides, as you can see, and I'm going to stitch the shoulders together. I'll also use my 1-inch allowance to sew the sides together. So guys, that is all for the top. The last thing you do is to just hem the base of your top and give it a good press. So for the back pattern guys, this is my front for the pant. So what I'm going to do is to mark my stitching allowance. Remember, while we're drafting, I took out 1 inch on this crotch area for my stitching allowance, so I marked the 1 inch all the way around. That is the point I'm going to sew. For the back, I want to fix my zipper at the back, so I'm going to be marking 1.5 inches. Remember, I increased the back by 2 inches, so I'll be taking 1.5 inches, which is also going to serve as my stitching allowance. So I'm sorry, my zipper allowance. So I'm going to mark the 1.5 inches all the way down like this. After doing that, I'll figure out where I want my zipper to stop. So as you can see, I'm still taking out the 2 inches for the band because I'm going to include it. So my zipper is going to stop at 9 inches, so I went ahead to just mark the 9 inches. So I'll sew from that point to this crotch, and from the waistline I'll just use my gather stitch to sew it to meet where the zipper is going to stop. Okay, so guys, I've gone ahead to stitch the side of my blouse together, and this is what it looks like. The last thing I'm going to do now is to hem the base. Okay, you can either hem it or you use your hemming gum. You fold your hemming gum inside and then you iron it flat. Okay, so after doing that, go ahead and give your blouse a good press. After sewing the crotch area of my pants, this is what I have for the front. So next thing I'll do is to place my tape and I'll measure what I have on my waistline, which is about 22 inches. Okay, so guys, the waistline I'm working with is 33 inches. I'm going to divide the 33 inches by 4. After doing that, what I have is about 8¼ so meaning on each side of this pants I'm supposed to have 8¼ on the waistline. Okay, so you're going to work with the measurement you are working with. Okay, so on both sides, okay, you know, we drafted out our pattern into 4. Okay, so we have 2 here, which is the front, and we have 2, which is the back. I measured one part of this pant, and what I have is about 11 inches. So I went ahead to mark the 8¼ which I'm supposed to have, okay, on the waistline for this side, and what I have left is 3 inches, meaning I have 3 inches to pleat. Okay, so I'm not going to pleat these 3 inches because I need allowance to join both pants together. So as you can see, I'm marking 1 inch, which is what I'm going to use to join my pants together. So what I have left to pleat is 2 inches. Okay, so what I'll do now is to place my tape on this center, and I'm going to go in by half of my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 4 inches. I'll indicate the 4 inches as you can see me doing. From that 4 inches, I'm going to now mark the 2 inches that is left for me to pleat. So I've marked out the 2 inches. I also went ahead to indicate it. The next thing I'm going to do is to mark the middle point of these 2 inches, which is 1 inch. So guys, after marking the 1 inch, I'm going to determine what I want my pleats to look like, how I want my pleat to look like. So you can just pleat them on each other side by side. You can pleat them and overlap it, whatever you want. Okay, just go ahead and pleat, and your own measurement might not be just 2 inches. You might not have just 2 inches to pleat, depending on the measurement that you placed on your waistline. So if you want enough pleats, go ahead and increase your fabric when cutting. Okay, so as you can see, I folded them on each other. Okay, and this is what I have. So I'm going to confirm what I have on my waistline. After marking my 8¼ I still have my 1 inch, which is going to serve as my joining allowance. So the same thing that I did for this side of the pants, I'm going to repeat the same thing. So from this center, I'm going to go out by half of my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 4 inches. From that point also, I'll mark the 8¼ which is what I'm supposed to have on my waistline. Okay, after doing that, what I have left is 3 inches. From that 3 inches, I'll take out 1 inch, which is going to be my joining allowance. So I'm left with 2 inches to pleat. So from this nipple to nipple point, which is my dart leg, I'm going to mark the 2 inches that I have left to pleat. After marking, I'll also divide the 2 inches into 2, as you can see me doing. So I'm going to pleat them together. I'll pleat from this part to meet the center. I'll pleat from the other part to meet the center. So like I said, you can do any type of pleat that you want. Okay, so for me, I just folded them on each other like this, and I went ahead to hold it down with my pin. After doing that, I'm going to iron in place. Okay, so guys, for the back, you can use the excess fabric that you have for the back to just take in your darts, and if you want to pleat, you can also go ahead and pleat. I'm not taking that and I'm not pleating because of the nature of the fabric I'm working with. I'm just going to push in every allowance that I have on this side. Okay, so I've gone ahead to iron my pleat in place, and this is what I have. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to cut out my pocket, but before I do that, I'm going to confirm what I have on my waistline. Okay, so I'm going to mark all the way around, and what I have here is 18 inches. Okay, so 18 plus 18 inches is 36 inches. The waist circumference I'm working with is 33 inches, so I have my 3 inches, which is for my zipper allowance. That is 1.5 inches on both sides of the pants. Okay, so guys, next thing I'm going to do is to cut out my pocket. To do that, I'm going to come in on this waistline by 2 inches, and I'll indicate the 2 inches with a mark. After doing that, I'm going to determine the depth of my pocket. So it totally depends on you and how deep you want the pocket to be, but I normally do 6 inches. So I'm going to go down by 6 inches and I'll connect like this. Okay, I will first of all indicate 6 inches, then I'll connect like this in a curve. You can make it into a slant depending on what you want, but I'm going to curve like this. Okay, so I connected from the 6 inches to meet the 2 inches. I'm going to repeat the same thing on this other side. I'll go inward by 2 inches and then I'll go down by 6 inches. After doing that, I'll connect the 2 dots like this, and then I'll go ahead and cut. So guys, next now I'll do is to cut out the fabric that I'll be using for my pocket. So the wideness of this fabric I'm working with is 17 inches. I'm going to fold it into 2, as you can see. So I'm going to bring in the part that I cut out from the main fabric, and I'm going to place it on this side of this fabric. That is the open side of this fabric. Okay, and I'm going to open it up. I'm going to trim off the same shape that I have on this main fabric. I'll trim it on one side. Make sure you're not cutting on the both side of this fabric. I just want to trace it on just one side of this fabric. So I'll bring in the second fabric and I'm going to place this one on it. Okay, so if the fabric is opened on the right side, make sure that the right side is facing the right side, and if it's opened on the wrong side, make sure the wrong side is facing the wrong side, just so you don't go and cut out the same pocket. Okay, so I'm going to fold them like this and I'm going to cut exactly what I have on this other fabric. Okay, after doing that, I have two of them. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to bring back my main fabric, and I'm going to pin the pocket to the main fabric. Okay, so I'm going to place them right sides facing right sides. So I'll open it up like this and I'll place this side that I cut out on the right side. I'll place it like this, and as you can see, they are matching. So I'm going to go ahead and sew it. Okay, I'll repeat the same thing for the other side. I'll place them right sides facing right side, and I'll go ahead and also sew. After sewing, go ahead and place your hemming gum underneath it and then iron it really flat. Okay, so guys, after sewing it in place, this is what I have. As you can see, I ironed it using my hemming gum. Okay, just so it lays flat on the outside. The next thing I'll do is to open up the pocket, as you can see, and I'm going to replace what we took out from the waist measurement. Remember, I came out by 2 inches on the waistline. I went ahead to cut it out, so I'm adding extra 1 inch. Okay, for my ease allowance in case of any adjustment. I didn't take the 2 inches exactly. I normally take the 2 inches, but I'm taking 3 inches. Okay, so I have ease allowance. So I'll fold this part to cover it up, to cover the rest part of the fabric. Okay, so I've replaced what I took out from the waistline earlier to form my pocket. I hope you guys are not confused. So I'm going to go ahead and pin it down. Okay, just go ahead and pin the pocket to the waistline. Okay, and on the base of the pocket, I'm going to close the pocket up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to open the base up first of all, and I'm going to fold the pocket inward because I want the rough edges of this pocket to be inside. Okay, after sewing. Okay, so I'm just going to open it up, as you can see. Okay, this is the pocket and you can see it's on the right side. I'm going to fold it wrong side facing wrong side, and I'm going to pin and sew. So go ahead and pin and then sew. After sewing, you're going to push back that rough edges inside the pocket, so it's going to be hidden and the outside is not going to be rough at all. Okay, after pinning, guys, I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same thing for the other side of the pocket. In case you did not understand the explanation that I did earlier, I'm going to explain again. So on this side of the pocket, I'm going to come in by 3 inches because I'm replacing the 2 inches that I took from the waistline earlier to form my pocket. But I'm not taking the 2 inches exactly because I want ease allowance. So I went ahead to cover it up with the other part of the waistline, as you can see, and I'm pinning it down. After doing that, guys, I'm going to also pin on the waistline. I'll pin the pocket to the waistline. So go ahead and pin before you sew, just so your fabric stays in place. Okay, so the next thing I'll do is to close this pocket. To do that, you can see me folding it over like this, wrong side facing wrong side, and I'm going to go ahead and sew. After sewing that part, I'll also stitch this waist area to hold the pocket and the waist together. So guys, I've gone ahead to sew everything in place. As you can see, this is what my pocket looks like. I went ahead to also stitch the sides to the fabric. Okay, so this is what I have, and this is what it looks like on the wrong side. So this is what I was explaining earlier. You can see that the pocket is neat because the rough edges of this pocket is inside, it's not showing outside. So just go ahead and give your pocket a good press. Okay, so guys, we are done with creating our pocket. The next thing I'm going to do is to join both front and back fabric together. Okay, so I'm going to place them right sides facing right side, and I'm going to use my stitching allowance to sew. So if you left 1.5 inches stitching allowance, go ahead and use it to sew on both sides. Okay, if you left 1 inch, go ahead and use your 1 inch to also sew. Okay, after sewing the side, I'll also go ahead and arrange the cross together, as you can see me doing, and then I'm going to go ahead and also sew. After sewing, go ahead and turn your pants inside out. guys, I've sewn my pants in place. I've also gone ahead to turn it inside out, and this is what I have. Okay, this is what it looks like on the back and on the front. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to open up the zipper allowance. Like I said earlier, I said I'll be using my gathered stitch from the waistline to meet where I want my zipper to stop, to make it easy for me to lose. So I'm just going to lose it, and I'll stop where I want my zipper to stop, which I indicated earlier. Okay, so after opening it up, this is what I have. The next thing I'm going to do now is to measure around my waistline. So go ahead and measure all the way around your waistline. Whatever you get from this measurement is what you are going to use to cut out your band. Okay, so as you can see, I've measured all the way around, and I've gone ahead to cut out my band. Okay, the wideness of my band is about 2.5 inches. Remember, I took out 2 inches before I started placing my points while we're drafting. So I'm going to use the remaining half an inch as my stitching allowance, because I'll be joining the band to the waist area of my pants. So the length is my waist, what I took out from my waist after measuring my waist all the way around. The length is what I cut out. As you can see, I ironed interfacing to the band to give it strength, because I'm working with a silk fabric. And before I forget, I'm using 2.5 yards of this silk fabric. So I'm going to place this on the waist all the way around, and I'm going to sew in place. After sewing, guys, this is what I have. This is what it looks like on the inside. The next thing I'll do is to arrange my pants in place, and I'm going to fix my zipper to the back. So guys, my zipper allowance is already ironed, so I'm going to go ahead and just sew my zipper in place, and then I'll go ahead and hem the base of my pants. If you're not hemming, you can use your hemming gum to just hold it down so it lays flat, and that's what I'm going to do. So guys, that is all for this tutorial. I hope it was helpful. Don't forget to like this video, leave your questions in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.